Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Wave Build-A-Figure Ultimate Goblin. Now I know almost nothing about this guy in terms of why he's all hulked out like this. And I say hulked out because he's actually using the Hulk body, but he is big and obviously he's not quite the same as the standard Goblin. So I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but it's a pretty good Build-A-Figure, and if I may say so, I think he's the best one we've gotten since they started doing New Legends again. I'm really happy with it. He's really glossy. I don't care for that bit about him. His skin is pretty glossy. He can get away with it because he's supposed to look kind of reptilian, I think. So I think that's okay. But it is something to note. And he has no shading or washes on him, so that's another thing that's kind of a bummer. Other thing that's a complaint is the nails and fingernails and toenails are not painted, but all of these Doomsday looking spikes are. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Could use some more paint on the button there. So the paint's not the best on this guy. Where we do have paint, they didn't do it right. This should be green, and this shouldn't be half green and half blue. But that being said, he's still a really nice looking figure. The composition's good, looks good on a shelf. And I love the fact that even though they used this Hulk body, which I wasn't a huge fan of for Hulk, they redid the arms obviously, but the arms are generally the same as Hulk. They gave him new hands, and that really made a big difference because Hulk had kind of like these little goofy hands that didn't look quite right. These hands being this open with the claws, they really fixed the proportions of the figure a lot, and they look really good. They're nicely sculpted. Same thing for the feet. Not so much because Hulk's feet were fine, but the feet are a little bigger, so that looks cool too. The articulation on the feet's still a problem. You can't bring them forward as much as you should be able to, so I don't care for that. The head, nicely sculpted, nicely painted. He's got these little gold metallic pupils in his eyes. His teeth has some shading in there, so that's cool. It's on the peg. I believe it, yeah, just a plain old ball peg. So you're not going to get a huge range of motion out of that. Up and down is very minimal. Swivel is normal, of course. Shoulders, somewhat limited by the spikes. There's really not much you can do about that. Still a pretty good range of motion though. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel and pivot. If I can do it, it's pretty tight. So still good articulation there. The diaphragm joint on Hulk looks pretty good from the front. Looks pretty good from the back until you start posing it. Then it looks a little awkward, but it's still not horrible. So I don't mind too much. It doesn't have the best range of motion, but it's probably good enough for a big guy like this. The hips are wide jointed, but they are ball hinges, which pop apart because they're really stiff and it's a Build-A-Figure. So be careful with that. But since they're ball hinges, you can probably finagle it around to get the leg to where you want it to be. Just be aware that they are super stiff. Double jointed knees, and then like I said, the ankles, they have the rocker and they have the pivot, but they don't come forward enough. So it's going to be a little hard to get him to stand just like Hulk. If you want him to be leaning forward at all, it's going to be an issue. Or to bend his leg back, and then you cannot bring the foot any more forward. So it's a little bit of an issue, but still, he looks really good. And he also has these add-on pieces, which are flames that can snap onto his wrists. Of course, you can snap him on the other way if you want to put his arm up, so the fire is not coming down. Just pop it off. And then you have the fire coming off of his hand like that. It's really quite clever. But they look good. They're nice and translucent yellow with some translucent orange or red shading. Then he also has a back piece. It doesn't snap on as well as I'd like, but it'll stay on for the most part. So he looks pretty good. I have to say, I was really skeptical when I first saw this guy. I don't remember if it was Comic-Con or just pictures online, but I was super worried that I thought this guy looks dumb. Not just because of the character, but the way they were using the Hulk body. I thought it was going to look like Hulk, and I didn't like it. But, as I said in the beginning, I do like it quite a lot. I think it's probably the best BAF in a long time. So, get the whole wave so you can build the figure. I think it's well worth it. Especially if you can get them for a decent price, then by all means get them. But even at $20 a figure, I think these guys are well worth it. It's a great batch of figures, so do not hesitate too much to get them before they're all gone. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Wait a minute. I don't know if I did the height again. I keep forgetting if I do the height. I should just do the height in the beginning, and I don't always do it. Just in case, to the top of his horn, he's 8.5 inches tall, just shy of that. So good size for a Build-A-Figure, even though he's not originally a Build-A-Figure. He's actually one of the biggest Build-A-Figures we've gotten in quite a long time, so that's good. All right, now I can do the outro. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.